This is the demonstration for your resume assignment in InDesign. So the first thing that you need to do is, I had you guys do this in Google Docs. So go ahead and go to your Google Docs and find your resume. Open it up. And you need to download it in a different format, okay? Because we don't want it to have any styling to it. So you're going to go to download as plain text.txt, okay? It's going to ask you where you want to save it. I'm just going to send mine to the desktop. Save. Notice that it says text in the format. And then you're going to go to InDesign. You're going to do File, New Document. Make sure all of this information is the way you want it. Should be set to print. No facing pages because this is not a book or a magazine. One page, letter sized, 8.5 by 11. Only one column. Portrait, 1/2 inch margins. Hit OK. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is also important. You're not going to copy and paste. You're going to place your document in. You're going to go to File, Place. You're going to find that resume that you just downloaded, TXT. You're going to hit Open, and you're going to get this loaded cursor. The loaded cursor is the cursor with all the letters coming off of it. What you want to do is click and drag a rectangle from the top of your pink margin down to the bottom, and then let go, and it'll load all of your text in there for you. Okay? You'll notice that it's all in a list there. It doesn't have any fonts, it doesn't have any bold or underline or anything like that. That's what you're going to do in this assignment. Okay? So you need to make some design decisions. You need to choose 2 fonts, and you need to vary your sizes. Okay? So in order to edit your type, you need to choose the type tool, just like the other 2 programs. And the first thing I'm going to change is my name. So for all of my important things, my headlines, I guess, I'm going to use a serif font. And I'm going to choose Trajan Pro. Okay? So look, it changed my name. I'm going to make it larger because I feel like my name is the most important thing, so I want it to be the biggest thing on the page. And then I'm going to highlight everything else that I think needs to be a headline. So I'm going to highlight my skills, change that. To Trajan. Pick a size for it. 12 is good, actually. Experience. Education. I think I'm going to do all these things in the same. So you're going to go and choose all of your things that you want to be that first font. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I feel like I can't really see what I'm doing. Education. And awards. Okay, so all of my titles are in Trajan, and then I want everything else to be in a sans serif font because I think that looks good together. So you don't have to do that. You can choose any two fonts, but I do think that it's a good idea to try to choose things that look appropriate together. So you don't want to use super scripty fonts. You don't want to use, cursive fonts. That's not really appropriate for this assignment. So I'm using Helvetica Light. Okay. It's actually Helvetica Nouveau Light. Okay. So once you've done that, you're going to go through and you're going to select everything and change the size for everything. And then you want to, space things out. Decide how much space you want in between each item. And you want to spend a little time on that. You might also decide that different things need to be centered differently. Maybe you want your name to be in the center. I'm going to fit my spread into my window so I can see everything. And you need to go in and you need to change the sizes of things, okay? So maybe you decide that this entire block of text needs to be smaller, They need to know that information, but maybe it doesn't need to be as big as everything else. It's important to create emphasis through different sizes and then different weights of fonts. When I say weights, I mean maybe you want to go back and make all of these, maybe this should be bold, okay? Maybe these should be bold. Okay, these things are up to you. If you load in your resume and you don't have these bullets, you can put them in. So let's pretend these weren't here, and and that's a requirement for your assignment. You want to put bullet points in. Bullets. Okay, and there it is. You have a bullet. Another thing that you can do is you don't necessarily have to have all of your text in this one text box. Right now, all of your text is all in the same place. I tend to separate some text out and make it its own, put it in its own text box so I can move it however I want. You can use the type tool, and maybe you do that for your name only. So maybe you do Command X and cut, and maybe you make this text box a little shorter. Everything just scoots down. And then maybe you do a new text box just for your title, for your name. Okay? And I'm doing that so that if I want to, I can move it around to wherever I want. That's the nice thing about InDesign that's different from Word, is that you can decide where you want things to go exactly. You can make the text boxes. If I wanted to overlap this other text box, I can. It doesn't matter. You can layer things on top of one another. And then if you want to see a preview of it, you just go to Overprint Preview, and it shows you what it looks like without all your text boxes. Okay? If you want your text boxes to come back, you undo that. All right? So you need to spend a little time and go through and highlight things, change the sizes, change the fonts, change whether they're bold, italic, what have you. And then at the end, you should have a very custom resume with your information in it, very professional looking, that you can give to employers. or that serves as a model for future resumes that you make once you've had some work experience. You're going to go to File, Save As, and you're going to save a copy of it in InDesign format. It'll say .indd. Save one of those to your desktop. And then this is also important. I want you to export your document in a different format, okay? Because nobody's going to be able to open an InDesign resume. That's a format that most people are not going to have access to open. So you want to export your document as a PDF because anybody can open a PDF. So you're going to go down here to Press Quality under Adobe PDF Presets and click on that. And look, it's a PDF. You're going to save it again to your desktop or wherever you're saving it. And it's going to ask you all these questions about pages and spreads and blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't worry about any of this. Just go ahead and say export. Okay, and then you have a PDF document. And this is the one I want you to upload to the Dropbox, is your PDF. And you should save it like we save everything, with your period number. It should be period number, resume, last name, first name, and it should be a PDF document. Okay, and then upload it to the Dropbox.